up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez.
What makes him so good in your opinion, Mike? Why does he beat everybody in your opinion?
His attitude. You know, he was a little heavy, fat kid and stuff like that, and he wanted to prove himself.
Have shared how incredibly skilled David Benavidez is, praising his relentless pressure, immense power, and ability to break down his opponents. Interviews. Atlas highlights Benavidez' relentless pressure, comparing him to a buzzsaw that never stops.
Because I think Benavidez is the truth. I think his skill set is underrated. It's rare that a dude that applies that kind of pressure at that size has that level of hand speed.
In the sport, I'm the #2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think I don't have defense.
Moving forward, he points out that Benavidez doesn't throw punches recklessly, but instead fights with precision, setting traps and mixing up his attacks. The focus on body shots is crucial, as they gradually wear opponents down, making
Morel for one shot. He's a less experienced guy, but he's got that Cuban background, you know, with the amateur pedigree, over 100-something fights. He's got experience. Even though he's got a lot less fights professionally, he's got experience. He hasn't fought the resume professionally that Benavidez has, so that's in favor of Benavidez. The experience, always important, but also the pedigree, like I said, where he comes from, Cuba, how, you know, you come from that island that from the beginning, when you first put those gloves on, it's all about becoming a world champ. You know, part of it is to escape the communist country, to get to a better life, to get to where you can pursue dreams, to get over here where you can become a world champion. And that is all there. But Benavidez comes from those bloodlines too, where it's all about with him and his father, you know, and his family. It's all about being a champion, staying a champion, being proud, representing yourself in and out of the ring as a champion. The power. Both guys are known for that.
Making it harder for them to last. In short, Atlas frames Benavidez as a fighter who suffocates his opponents with both relentless volume and strategic intelligence, making it nearly impossible to escape once they're caught in his grasp. Interviews. The fighter emphasizes his precision in the ring.
His sparring partner, what we are talking about is that this Saturday, I'm going to put a beating on David Morel. And that's what it is.
To you, David, when you imagine the fight, that beating, how does it look? How have you mentally pictured the fight?
I see myself systematically breaking him down. I think I'm just going to overwhelm him with punches. My punches and bunches, it's unlike anybody else in the sport. I'm the #2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think I don't have defense and on that. So what I've noticed from my previous fights, when I fight great fighters, when I get in there and they don't have success like they have with other fighters, they get a certain look in their eye, like, oh shit, like this guy is really good. And I'm expecting the same thing here. But if I do get put in a position where it's a good competitive fight, I'm ready to go to war. This is what I'm here for. You know, nothing is guaranteed. There's no easy fights here. Nothing is guaranteed. But I'm ready to put my heart and soul in the ring, and I'm ready to put it all in the ring and beat David Morel, whatever it may take.
Morel comes from the Cuban school. A lot of people say like, hey man, this guy is so technically good. This is a difficult style matchup. Like, what do you make of his Cuban style coming into this fight?
But honestly, they've said that.
Highlighting his ability to land clean, effective punches. I'm the most accurate puncher in boxing, says David Benavidez. His confidence comes from years of refining his skills, ensuring he stays a dominant force in the sport with unmatched accuracy. Interviews. He says the beef between him and David Morel isn't just drama, but something real. I want to beat him up for sure, Benavidez states. It's all because of his trash talk. He's been running his mouth, and I'm not going to let that slide. I'm ready to back up everything I've said and prove I'm the better fighter. And former fighters overwhelmingly favor David Benavidez in a potential matchup against David Morel. They believe
promoting the fight or what have you. A lot of pomp and circumstance usually comes associated with fights where guys look like they might dislike each other, but ultimately in the end, it's just about the professionalism and it's about marketing the fight. You guys seem to have a disdain for one another. How real is that? And if so, why?
Yeah, this is 100% real, and like I said, I want to go in there and break his face, and that's exactly what I intend on doing. David Morel, you know, he's been calling me out for the past 2 years. He's been talking a lot of trash, you know. So honestly, it doesn't take much for me to get me started. You know, him saying he's going to knock me out, this and that. You know, I want a good fight. I want him to be ready. I want him to back all his words up. You know, so at the end of the day, I gotta be the Mexican monster. And I gotta let these people.
Dave Benavidez' skill set, relentless pressure, and high-volume punching would overwhelm Morrell, who is yet to face elite competition. Experts emphasize Benavidez' ability to break down opponents with his size, power, and stamina, making him a tough challenge for anyone. While Morrell is a talented fighter with strong fundamentals, many view Benavidez as the superior boxer due to his experience and ability to control the pace of a fight. As a result, predictions strongly favor Benavidez for a dominant victory. Interviews. They also compare.
Put up one hell of a fight. I just think David Benavidez is not what people think he is. I see a highly skilled fighter with good fluidity in his punches and his moves. The guy, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm talking about skill-wise. Like, he got fast hands. He throws great flurries. He knows how to break you down systematically. His defense is far better than people give him credit. Him against Oleksandr Volcic, I was like, brother, this guy looks great, right? He just needs more time at 175.
Benavidez to Tyson Fury, noting his exceptional talent and boxing ability that set him apart from other fighters of his size. Both fighters effectively use their physical advantages, combining skill, endurance, and pressure to dominate their opponents. Benavidez' relentless aggression and quick hands allow him to break down opponents, much like Fury's ability to control fights with his movement and technique. While their styles differ, analysts see similarities in how both dominate similarly sized opponents. This comparison further reinforces the belief that Benavidez is a special talent capable of overpowering elite fighters in his division.
American from Arizona, from Phoenix, Arizona, debut 2013 through 2021. I think he is still fighting. His last fight most likely occurred in 2021. Oh wait, November 13, he's got an upcoming fight versus Jose Uzcatagu, Colombian. But his last one was a TKO, took place March 13, 2021. 24, and we got another undefeated,
Benavidez are gonna fight.
Yeah.
Is that a fight that you're?
Oh, got it. Yeah. Well, the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid, and he told me I'm gonna be a world champion someday, and you know, and then I run into him and he's a world champion. You know, that's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighters, not boxers. That's when I was sort of kicking the tires of boxing, and yeah, yes.
An undefeated powerhouse with a 29-0 record and 24 knockouts enters every fight with unshakable determination, including his upcoming clash with Morrell. While Morrell has been vocal, Benavidez stays silent, letting his skills do the talking. He absorbs every word but saves his response for the ring, where his relentless pressure, speed, and precision take over.
Career, and the best out there now is David Morrell.
I see him coming up to 175. He's talking about it. I'm gonna shut his ass up. And also, it would be a bigger pay-per-view for way later. His name is not that big, but you know, I don't.
They just talk the way you want your fighters to talk. They're all about the smoke. They want to fight everybody. It seems like whoever would win the Morrell Benavidez, I get the shot. But at the end of the day, we got a guy who wants to fight a tough guy.
David Morrell is so good. David Morrell is a high-risk, low-reward fighter. You have to overpay people to step in the ring with him. If you don't overpay him, you won't get him in the ring. It's as simple as that, Jack. So, David Morrell going in 2024, one of the most exciting fighters, got an exciting style, has a fan base in Minnesota. You know, that's the knock on the Cubans. No international distribution on the Cuban feed because they don't show the fights. Has a fan base in Minnesota. Now we need to see the fights. Vladimir Shishkin, Kristen and Billy. Any of those guys on the back end of the top 10, I want to see them in with him.
Known for breaking opponents down, he views trash talk as nothing more than added fuel, something that only intensifies the battle. For Benavidez, fights aren't won with words, they're won with skill, power, and the ability to dominate when it matters most. Bal praises Benavidez, saying his skills are top tier.
Yeah, listen, I'll give massive props to Benavidez because I've rated Morrell very highly for a long time. In Los Angeles, I got to watch him up close, and I really wasn't impressed with what I saw, but I just think he had an off night. He's a very good fighter, and Benavidez really doesn't need to be taking that fight, but he is. So listen, big respect to David Benavidez. that's a great fight. And we want to see great fights. I hope there's more fighters like David Benavidez that said, no, I'll back myself. I don't give a fuck about Morrell. I know everyone rates him and he's this Cuban killer. I'll beat him. Get me in with him. Fair play. Well done, David Benavidez.
Great fight as well. Really, really good fight. It's great to see us, isn't it? I mean, boxing's flat at the minute, but I really, really rate Benavidez. Hard to look past him, that one for me.
I know I say that every fight, but it's just I'm getting better and better. I'm more experienced. You know, now I'm physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm at one with myself, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. These are the type of challenges I want. I don't shy away from no fight. If no fight or no fighter, you know what I mean? And that's definitely what I'm going to show February 1st.
Do you think like you break them down like later in the rounds? Like, do you catch them early and break them down early, like we saw with Andrade?
To be honest with you, I'm gonna just put a game plan together, and I'm gonna just follow my game plan. I don't know if it's gonna come early. I don't know if it's gonna come late, but I will be trying to knock them out. You know, that's what I do every single fight. I go in there and I just break people down and I beat the shit out of them. It's gonna be the same thing.
Given the last performance, I know you said at the post-fight you were injured, you're dealing with a lot of things. What do you make of like the perception of David at 175 from fans now? And do you think it's fair?
To be honest with you, I don't care what nobody says. I know exactly what I do. I know that 7 weeks left to the fight, I tore an tendon. No, 8 weeks left to the fight, tore the tendon.
Knowing firsthand because they've shared the ring in sparring, Benavidez possesses speed, power, and intelligent pressure, always thinking, always adjusting. Bao respects his ability to break opponents down, calling him a real problem for anyone who steps in the ring with him. Interviews.
For me, though, I never had a huge demand for it because I think it's a bit early for Morrell. And when you look at his last fight, Riyadh season, David Morrell didn't look that good. But a lot of people don't think David Benavidez looked that good against Holstein. I thought he looked great. I just thought he gassed out, but I thought he looked phenomenal. This fight, though, reminds me a bit of how they moved along Vargas. Remember when Vargas fought Trinidad? People wanted that fight until they saw it. He was a little too young, and he was showing a lot of promise, but I think they moved him along too quickly. Don't be surprised if David Benavidez give him a boxing lesson. David Benavidez, I think he's going to show some movement, shoot the jab, be busy. I think Morrell has a puncher's chance, and I think it's a phenomenal puncher's chance because he's so athletically gifted.
Benavidez and David Morrell, right? This is the type of fights boxing needs. Two young fighters, great fighters in their division. They moved up to 175. They were at 168. The fight wasn't made there, but 175, David said, you know what, let's make this fight happen. The first few pictures, it looks like David has some weight to take off. He looks like the Tyson Fury of the 175, but that doesn't matter, right? It's all about your fighting technique, your fighting style. I think David Morrell has a great opportunity to showcase his skills, but I don't think it'll be enough to beat a David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez has a little bit too much power and too much combinations for David Morrell. David Morrell hasn't, fought anybody that is maybe top 2, top 3. David Benavidez has been in there with Caleb Plant, has been in there with some good fighters. So he is coming into the fight the favorite. But let me know what you guys think.
Spar, it's very different than a fight. I have a lot of sparrings when I wasn't good, when I was good. I'm not seeing on the sparrings, it's like on the fight. I'm checking, I'm just trying to do something, I just have some mission for one sparring and I try to do it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But with Benavidez, it was good sparrings. I can't say that something was not good. Now it's Canelo. He has belts. Of course, he's the best in 168. They need to prove it. They need to earn belts. Then
right now he's talking a lot of shit. He's mad. What the fuck? He should be happy. So we're super motivated. David's super focused, and these are the type of fights that we need. At the end of the day, he has everything to gain. We have nothing to gain out of this fight. We have everything to lose, nothing to gain. But at the end of the day, it's a great fight for the people. People wanted to see this fight, and we're ready. We're ready to put him to sleep.
My arms are short for my height, so I gotta check, you know what I'm saying? I bring this in, so it's here. I bring that in for maximum power, but also so I'm in a good range. Yeah. I can't be out here because I got shorter arms. If I'm here, somebody like you gonna counter this. Yeah. You can be a really good fighter, both hands. Yeah. You can be all-time great. You make this great. Yeah. That's the hand, because that's gonna open up these other hands. Okay. It's gonna make it easier. Anything you do here, that blinds you. You're blinded. Bing. Here, bing. Off to the side. You gotta turn your head. I get off or I can exit. And just rinse and repeat. Okay. That's it right there. That's it right there. He bit for it. Yeah, he bit.
Benavidez will win because he's the real deal, an unstoppable force with the skills, toughness, and mentality to break opponents down. He applies relentless pressure, cuts off the ring, and forces fighters into deep waters, where they drown under his volume. His hand speed, accuracy, and ability to mix up attacks make him dangerous. He doesn't just throw punches, he sets traps, punishes the body, and controls the pace. Built for war, he thrives when the fight gets tough. Pros believe Benavidez has to win this fight, but it's Morrell who truly needs it. Benavidez has already proven himself as a dominant force, while Morrell is looking for.
Morrell's management is going to earn more money off this fight than Morrell himself, and you want to know how he's going to feel.
About that. Look, now you think
So David, for David Morrell, what is your response to this? Is this
All
true?
your managers are
Man, it's bullshit. You know, it's bullshit, man. Let's go to the back.
All your managers are getting more money than you.
Okay.
How does that feel? I thought the managers are with you. I thought the people were with you. How your fucking managers making more money than you? How are you making more money than you?
Morrell, is that true?
How
are you making more money?
Bro, listen. Man, Ham. I think
Why?
everybody's a lot of
After I knocked you out, they're all gonna catch you out.
You know, and look, you know, he has to worry about power that Morrell has also. You know, so he's gonna feel the power when he's close. He's gonna feel the power when Morrell has distance. So, so we feel we have the advantage both ways.
What's the feeling in your gut? How this fight's gonna play out? How it's gonna go down?
I really and truly believe Morrell's gonna like me.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.